Welcome to We've Got a Country to Save, brought to you by my friends at investyrefy.com. Invest in America like I do, and by Freedom Chat. Freedom Chat has true end-to-end encryption, no storage of messages on the server, and no commercial use of user data. That way you can speak freely and message privately. Download the app today and subscribe to my Freedom Chat channel at Larry Elder for exclusive posts and never-before-seen content. We also thank Epoch Times, Old Glory Bank, Patriot Mobile, Birch Gold, Century H2O, and Blue Line Moving. Make sure to follow or subscribe to my channel on whatever platform you are using, whether X, YouTube, Facebook, or Rumble. And be sure to patronize our sponsors. And if you don't patronize our sponsors, well... We know where you live. Now, come again, Governor?
All the things that make me mad about those other guys and all the things they do wrong, the one thing that I will not forgive them for is their try to steal the joy from this country.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Trump's iconic dance moves are sweeping the internet and winning him a lot of fans across the globe. Trump's dance moves were on show throughout and even after his election campaign. And it seems like everyone wants to hop on the bandwagon.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, cause you're in a new town. There's no need to be unhappy. Young man, there's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. They have everything for young men to enjoy. You can hang out with all the boys. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the
Kelly over the top, lovely ball for Pulisic. It's Christian Pulisic. It's absolutely delightful from the United States, and Christian Pulisic has the only goal.
Are we having joy yet?
Okay, we're gonna talk about it. First off, this guy in the corner here, okay, I think his name is Glasses Guy, but quite frankly, he keeps hanging around, and, you know, he did a bomb, okay? He did what's called a photo bomb, and quite frankly, you know, I don't know why they call it a photo bomb, because nothing explodes, nothing goes kablooey, okay? Irregardless, regurgitative. This guy keeps asking about a cabinet. You know, a cabinet like you get from IKEA, okay? IKEA, you get the Muggish Boogish and the Fluggish Smuggish, and quite frankly, I don't know why they named them such funny names, but irregardless, regurgitative. Also, Elon Musk, look at this guy. He looks so happy. He looks like he's never had a cheeseburger before, but we finally got him one. Don Jr., I love you, but you're trying to be me, okay? Look at me. I look tremendously happy. Jr. looks like he's trying to be happy, okay? And then RFK, you know, he tried so hard to be happy. He said, but Donald, these aren't good for you. And I said, you know, Robert, don't worry about it. We'll start that tomorrow, okay? And look at my smile. Look at how happy I am. Donald's brings out the best in me, and that's probably why I like it so much, because it has my name in it, okay? McDonald, you know? It'd be like if I was from Ireland or Scotland or something like that, you know? McDonald, Clan McDonald, you know? Quite frankly.
Why did Kamala lose?
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah.
Hi, folks. You may be hearing a lot about Yrefy these days. Well, it's true. investors all over the country are earning a high fixed rate of return, and they don't care what happens with the stock market or the Fed. And it's true, your interest is compounded daily, you're paid monthly, and there are absolutely no fees. And yes, it's true, there is no attack on your principal if you ever need your money back. When you invest with Yrefy like I do, you are in control. You can turn your income on or off, compound it, whatever you choose. You don't have to worry about doom and gloom economic news, and you can have peace of mind that you'll receive your statement every month with no surprises. Would you like some more information? Just call 877-80-INVEST, that's 877-80-INVEST, or log on to investyrefy.com, that's investyrefy.com. Yrefy, do well by doing good. Let me ask you a question. How many of you are concerned about the invasion of privacy that is currently going on by the Biden administration? Biden's DOJ is invading individuals' private messages and targeting them based on their political affiliation, and that's why I've partnered with Freedom Chat, a private social messaging app that, like me, believes privacy is your fundamental human right. Freedom Chat has variable end-to-end encryption, built-in screenshot protection, no storage of messages on their servers, and no commercial use of user data. I'm such a fan of Freedom Chat, in fact, that I have created my own private channel that you can subscribe to for exclusive content, including never-seen images, videos, and posts. Simply download the app, or if you're on Android, join their waitlist. Search for my channel and subscribe. No one can see the channels that you are subscribed to or the posts that you react to. It's your own perfectly curated private news feed. Speak freely and message privately with Freedom Chat. Download the app today and subscribe to my channel at Larry Elder for exclusive posts and never-before-seen content. Did you know that most people in the Midwest don't have internet?
Hey, Willie Nelson here, reporting from Venice, California, where the boardwalk's crowded, the tents are plentiful, and the smell is unforgettable. Trump's cabinet picks are rolling in. Names like Robert F. Kennedy, Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, and Vivek Ramaswamy. But the question is, do the folks here even care? I'm here to find out if the locals are tuned into these politics or too busy debating crystal energy. Let's find out.
I feel pretty scared, frightened.
What frightens you about RFK?
His voice.
I'm sorry to keep everybody waiting.
I pretty much like all the picks, man. The new border czar is pretty cool. He's definitely about keeping the border safe.
You better start packing now.
Tulsi Gabbard, man, she's a strong female. I mean, it wasn't the fact that Kamala Harris wasn't qualified. She's just a weak woman.
Shout out Robert F. Kennedy. He was a real one, you know, and everybody who was rocking with him was a real one. So Trump 2025, 2024, bro, like he gave me a stimulus check, bro. I went crazy with it, so.
You have to realize it's all illusions for them to get the laws that they want to slide under. Pandemic, an illusion, a distraction. How can you shut the world down? It's never been done before.
It makes me sick. I want to vomit in my mouth or all over them. They're horrible, horrible, horrible people. The rapey one, Matt Gaetz.
What specifically do you not like about Matt Gaetz?
Okay, I have to be honest, I don't know too much about Matt Gaetz either.
Robert F. Kennedy, as far as the politics go, his heart is in the right place. You know, he wants people to be healthy and, you know, living strong and everything.
Robert F. Kennedy he's unfortunately a misinformed person, doesn't know anything about science, thinks that vaccines cause autism and whatnot, and he wants to remove fluoride from the waters. Fantastic. That's how we become a third world country.
I think fluoride is a poison.
I support Robert F. Kennedy. I totally don't support the vaccine at all. You know what I mean? A lot of people dying from taking the vaccine. Most people that's dying is the one that's taking the vaccine. You know what I mean? I was sent by John.
It doesn't matter who's in there. You know, they're all doing the same thing. Why did Trump win the last one and he won this one and he was out then and he's in now? It looks a little fishy to me.
I don't know most of those people. The only name I really recognize is Elon Musk and Robert F. Kennedy. But my thoughts on Trump and his plans, he doesn't really have his own plan, but except for the Project 2025, I'm not for that. Most of the American people don't really know what's happening. Most people in the Midwest don't have internet. Huh? They can't read up on like what even is Project 2025, you know, so they're kind of misled. They only really have like their family to tell them what they should do or anything.
That's all from Venice, California, where the only thing higher than the rent might be the people I just interviewed. This is Willie Nelson, your man on the street.
Bumbuckler, you don't know.
I've been given a gift I'm gonna wear it proudly today. Who's got the N-word pass here? Can I say it?
Well, only if you pay $2,500 a month to my new application called Please. That's right. For $2,500 a month.
They're still at it.
If you voted for Trump, literally, please delete me, block me, get rid of everything of me, or step to me so that I know what's up and then I can handle you how I see fit. Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the blank you voted for. You're not in the clear. Please, please don't test your gangster on me because you will end on a stretcher, gone forever. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, so
it
that
sounds like a threat.
It sounds very extreme. And again, I was in a moment of high emotions and I shouldn't have ever posted the video. But what the message I was trying to get across, and it came off very wrong, was, you know, if this is going to give people the almost permission in their minds to enact violence against women or anybody, I wanted to basically just say, like, I'm not going to go down without a fight. I mean, you know, it's my life's dream to be a teacher. I consider those kids my kids because I don't have any of my own. And they fill that for me. And it's so fulfilling. It's so rewarding. And I know that what people see right now, I don't look like that person, but I truly would do anything to help any child and any family in need.
Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the you voted for. You're not in the clear. And just please, please don't test your gangster on me because you will end on a stretcher, gone forever.
I'm sorry, you're fired. Get out of here. Right?
Now, just because Trump got elected doesn't mean he's no longer Hitler, right?
After Michael Dukakis lost in 1988, that was the third big presidential election Democrats had lost by a landslide. And I can remember publications talking about the long winter to come for Democrats. 4 years later, along comes someone like a Bill Clinton to rewrite the book on that and the math. And he challenged the more liberal establishment, went after people like Sister Soldier, iconic figures in the Democratic Party. And the next thing you know, he's president of the United States. Do you need a candidate or a position that moderates, that doesn't seem as liberal?
Well, you said along came Bill Clinton. Along came, who was it? I guess it may have been Ronald Reagan that went the opposite way from what had previously been the case.
Fair enough.
These things happen. The swings are there. We go from left to right in this country. We go from right back left in this country. And I always say, well, whether the pendulum is going from left to right or right to left, it always passes through the middle. And so it seems to me we camp out twice as much time in the middle as we do in the right or left. Now, the country is going lurching back to the right. I hope it's not going as far right as that which happened in Germany in the 1930s. But you may remember I forewarned way back in 2018 that I saw this coming. I've studied history all of my life. I mean, since being a preteen, I've been enamored with this country's history. And I can tell you what I said back in 2018 on another network is now coming to pass. People chastised me for saying it at that time, but now they're seeing it.
Well, how are we seeing it? He's not president yet. I mean, are you visiting another Hitler? Is that what you're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I said the 1930s in Germany.
Yes, you did.
And, of course, and we can go to Mussolini in Italy. These things...
So you don't think that's a little hyperbolic?
No, you may think so.
Okay.
I'll tell you what's hyperbolic is asking the Senate to approve all your nominees without any vetting. That's what's hyperbolic. And if the Senate were to do that, it would be ceding everything that this country is built upon. The checks and balances that have been in this country from its very beginning.
Number 47 in the house. house.
And ladies and gentlemen, look who is now making his way to the world-famous octagon, flanked by UFC CEO Dana White, 45, soon to be 47, President-elect Donald Trump.
I wish the people at home could hear the sound in this room.
It's so loud in here.
It is so loud. It's always loud when he comes here, but now that he's won, now that he's the president again, oh my God.
So Donald Trump making his way to watch the UFC, which he absolutely loves, and doing so with some sort of victory lap after regaining the presidency earlier this month in emphatic fashion with an election blowout of the Democratic candidate, Kamala Harris. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations. America is back. Now then, a peaceful and transfer of power circa 2024.
Well, Mr. President-elect and former President, thank you, Donald, congratulations. Thank you. And looking forward to having like we said, a smooth transition. Do everything we can to make sure you're accommodated, what you need. And we're going to get a chance to talk about some of that today. So good. Welcome
Thank you
back.
very much, and thank you very much. And politics is tough, and it's in many cases not a very nice world, but it is a nice world today, and I appreciate it very much. And a transition that's so smooth, it'll be as smooth as it can get.
These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
And I very much appreciate that, Jim.
You're welcome. Yes. Thank you all.
Bill Maher says a big distinction between Democrats and Republicans is that Democrats accept election results and Republicans do not.
You know that if Trump had lost this election, right now, we would be talking about the votes that are still coming in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, and he'd be in the courts, and we would just be all in a trigger. One side accepts election losses and one side doesn't.
Peaceful and orderly transfer of power circa 2001.
Could be worse kind of day in Washington.
On the day George W. Bush was inaugurated, tens of thousands of Americans poured into the streets of D.C. in one last attempt to reclaim what had been taken from them. They pelted Bush's limo with eggs and brought the inauguration parade to a halt. The plan to have Bush get out of the limo for the traditional walk to the White House was scrapped. Bush's limo hit the gas to prevent an even larger riot. No president had ever witnessed such a thing on his inauguration day.
Peaceful and orderly transfer of power circa 2017.
No nations. If you wanted to sum up a slogan that was the exact opposite of what Donald Trump is about, then perhaps that would be it.
About 2.5 miles of downtown Washington have been closed off around the Capitol building and Congress. So police will have sealed off that area, preventing those protesters being able to get through to the inauguration ceremony. Officials did say ahead of the event that they had organized or had catered for around 100 protest groups, and they were finding it difficult to do that, finding them areas where they could protest. Whether this is an official, one of those protests, an official protests, we cannot say.
This is Craig. Do you still have my signal? Okay, cool. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Despite mass protests, however, this is also a moment for many Americans to celebrate, and hundreds of thousands of Donald Trump supporters have made their way to Washington for this inauguration. That's how clearly divisive Donald Trump is. He has people who absolutely love what he has to say, but love him or loathe him, what is clear is this is a momentous day for the United States and for the world, and what we're seeing is a historic day. It is a cliche, but it's very true.
Well, this is perhaps what the authorities were scared of. You're seeing live pictures here from Washington. Obviously not everyone has come to welcome and bless the inauguration of Donald Trump. We're not exactly sure where in the Capitol this is taking place, but it looks like it is well away from the center, which is heavily fenced off for the inauguration ceremony itself. But clearly we have now the beginnings of clashes between some groups of protesters and security forces, and what we saw obviously was an attack on I'm not sure which building it was just there, but some damage being caused.
My eyes are just bad. It'll pass. I couldn't see for a minute.
One side accepts election losses and one side doesn't.
Now, can you imagine 4 years of this?
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. We must together work together to see where we are headed, where we are going, and our vision for where we should be. Because we have the ability to see what can be, unburdened by what has been, and then to make the possible actually happen. To see what is possible, to see what can be, unburdened by what has been, to reject the notion that the way things have always been has to be the way things will continue to be. I have a motto. I eat and drink no for breakfast. I eat no for breakfast. I eat no for breakfast. There is no vaccine for racism. The climate crisis represents an existential threat to who we are as a species. Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, because the reality is that the life of a black person in America has never been treated as fully human. We have supposed leaders who are pushing science fiction instead of science fact. This virus, it has no eyes, and yet it knows exactly how we see each other and how we treat each other. You guys are gonna see. You're gonna literally see the craters on the moon with your own eyes. Oh my goodness. With your own eyes, I'm telling you, it is gonna be unbelievable. A friend in need is a friend in need. And when folks vote, they order what they want, and in this case, they got what they asked for.
For those of us holding our breath for the past several months, we can exhale. Work can finally be done on the major issues this country is facing, one of the most significant being our national debt. Fact is, our nation is broke, and that debt is a house of cards that can't quickly be dismantled. So, the strategy remains the same. Diversify your savings. That's why I buy gold from Birch Gold. So many things are out of our control, out of our president's control. It's important to have a safe haven for your savings. Birch Gold Group. My Gold Company will help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. And the best news, it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. Visit LarryForGold.com. Get your free info kit. Plus, right now, through Black Friday, you'll receive a free 1-ounce Silver Eagle for every $5,000 purchase. Protect your savings with Birch Gold. Visit LarryForGold.com and claim your eligibility for free silver today. That's LarryForGold.com, LarryForGold.com. Americans have had enough of supporting companies that hate our values. Tired of compromise? So am I. It's time to switch to Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. They are an example of putting the cause ahead of profits, and that's why I'm proud to partner with them. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage, giving you access to all 3 major networks, which means you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to without funding the left. When you switch over to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the sanctity of life, and our military vets and our first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes it easy to switch, keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Their team will help you find the best plan for your needs. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Larry or call 972-PATRIOT. That's patriotmobile.com/Larry or call 972-PATRIOT. Get free activation when you use the offer code Larry. Join me and make that switch today. patriotmobile.com/Larry, patriotmobile.com/Larry or call 972-PATRIOT. Located in the heart of Sugar House, Salt Lake City, Utah, family-owned El Cholo is a vibrant Mexican restaurant offering a unique dining experience across 2 stylish levels. With a beautiful bar, chic design, and stunning views of the Wasatch Mountains, it's the perfect spot for both casual meals and special occasions. El Cholo can host up to 250 people, making it an ideal venue for events like weddings, parties, or corporate gatherings. Whether you're enjoying authentic Mexican dishes or sipping cocktails like our signature margarita, the restaurant's warm ambiance and prime location attract a diverse crowd, including the University of Utah students who love the flavorful dishes and wonderful, lively atmosphere. El Cholo is a favorite gathering spot for locals and visitors alike. 2166 South 900th East, Salt Lake City, Utah, 84106. Phone number 385-426-2166. Other locations in Los Angeles, Santa Monica, downtown LA, Anaheim Hills, Corona del Mar, and La Habra. elcholo.com, that's elcholo.com. Now, just how worried should some federal employees be now that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are heading up the new DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency? Watch this Twitter employee, pre-Elon Musk buying the joint, cheerfully explaining how much work she puts in every day, thus explaining how Musk was able to fire 75% of the Twitter employees, and the plays kept right on going.
Welcome to a day in my life as a Twitter employee. So this past week, went to SF for the first time at a Twitter office, badged in. Honestly, took a moment to just soak everything in. What a blessing. Also started my morning off with an iced matcha from the perch. Then I had a meeting, so quickly scheduled one of these little pod rooms, which were so cool. They're literally noise canceling. Took my meeting, got ready for lunch. Look how delicious this food looks. Oh my goodness, I was so overwhelmed. Then made my way down to this log cabin area. I don't know what this is, but it was really cool. Played some foosball with my friends to kind of unwind a bit. Also found this really cool meditation room that I thought was super neat. I didn't do any yoga, but they have this yoga room if you are a yogi, so also thought that was really cool. Had a couple more meetings in the afternoon, had a ton of projects that we needed to knock out. Say hi to my teammates. Went to the library to kind of get some more work done. Obviously had to have our afternoon coffee, so made some espresso. And then before leaving for the day, had some red wine that's on tap. Went up to the rooftop and just honestly enjoyed the beautiful weather. So awesome trip.
Bueno, lo primero que tenemos que entender es que el Estado no es la solución. El Estado es el problema. Ustedes, si se fijan acá, tienen la gran raviolada que es el Estado, el gran curro y la fuente de la decadencia argentina, que es el Estado. Esta es la foto del Estado que tenemos hoy. Si nos movemos hacia aquella pizarra, Ministerio de Turismo y Deporte, afuera. Ministerio de Cultura, afuera. Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible, afuera. Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad, afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas, afuera. Aunque te resistas. Vamos a seguir por acá. Ministerio de Ciencia y Tecnología e Innovación. Algo bien del sector privado. Nada bueno salió del sector público. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Trabajo, Empleo y Seguridad Social. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Educación. Adoctrinamiento. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Transporte. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Salud. ¡Afuera! Ministerio de Desarrollo Social. ¡Afuera! ¿Cómo queda el Estado? Ministerio de Capital Humano. Ministerio de Infraestructura, Ministerio de Economía, Ministerio de Justicia, Ministerio de Seguridad, Ministerio de Defensa, Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores y Ministerio del Interior. Se acabó el curro de la política. ¡Viva la libertad, carajo!
By the way, 1 year later in Argentina, after Milei cut spending and eliminated wasteful programs, inflation hit a 30-year low. Let the celebration begin.
Ministerio de Turismo y Deporte, afuera. Ministerio de Cultura, afuera. Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible, afuera. Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad, afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas, afuera. Se acabó el curro de la política. ¡Viva la libertad, carajo!
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the deep state.
There's roughly 3 million people who work for the federal government. Of those, the president basically appoints 3,000, and it takes forever to get them through.
Yeah.
So we have roughly 3 million people who don't report to anyone. Nominally, they're supposed to report to the executive branch, but the president can't fire him. We talked about on the previous show, if Elon had gone into Twitter and he hadn't been allowed to fire anyone, do you think he could have restored free speech to Twitter? Of course not. They just would have kept doing whatever they wanted to do. And that is the big problem in the federal government right now, is we are ruled by a fourth branch of government that is not in the Constitution, that doesn't report to anybody. It is not subject to elections. We can't vote them out, and we can't fire them. And they have been in the forefront of trying to stop Trump and the larger reform movement that he represents. Ever since Trump got elected in 2016, remember, it was members of the administrative state, specifically the security state, who said, don't worry, we're going to be the insurance policy against Trump. And they have done everything possible through the Russiagate hoax, through lawfare, through the whole Steele dossier hoax, to basically try and stop Trump and the reform movement that he represents. And the big question of Trump's second term will be whether he can finally subdue this bureaucracy and bring it under democratic control, under the control of the executive branch, as the American people want, and as I think the Constitution intended. Right now, we are run by an unelected branch of government that has to stop. And what Trump represents is not dictatorship, but democracy, the triumph of democracy over this bureaucracy.
And it has to go. Now, this hasn't worn well.
Michael Moore is with us now. Michael, welcome. Thank you for being with us. And I know you've heard it. There is thinking that you're aware of from, I think, sort of Democrats in the political class who say, yeah, but Harris needs people in the middle, and liberals are going to vote for her regardless. Why would they stay home? It's as good as a vote for Trump. What do you say to that reasoning?
Well, I honestly think we're going to have one of our largest turnouts ever. I don't think that many people are going to stay home. I certainly hope not, because of everything that's at stake. But this happens every time with Democrats, because Democrats, they're such a frightened group of people. People, they still think that Trump is going to win. This is kind of shocking to me. Like, don't you live with people? Are you not aware that there's going to be a tsunami of women voting between now and Election Day? That they were told 2.5 years ago that they no longer control their own bodies. They no longer have a say. If they get pregnant, an unplanned pregnancy, the law now is that in many of our states that you have to have that baby, and if we have to do whatever we have to do, sort of the legal version of strapping you down to the table until you birth that baby, then so be it. That's the law of the land now. And anybody who thinks that women are going to stay home, that women are going to tolerate this, do you not know any women? Do you not live with a woman? Is there a next door neighbor? Is there somebody you could just go ask them? So what do you think about my gender here? My gender. Nobody can tell me what to do with my body, and maybe some people should. I'm just saying, but seriously.
Okay, but Michael, let me ask you about that, because
Now, why did Trump win despite being massively outspent by Kamala?
Kamala Harris could not pull off a win.
You know, you can have $1 billion and get all the celebrities in the world, but if people are looking for certain policies right now, if you see the streets of San Francisco, people are hurting, homeless all over this place. Gas is high. She should have came to the streets of where she's from, San Francisco. I didn't see her talking to any of the common folk here. All she got to do is talk to the people, and then she would have known what she had to go in office and do and what she had to say. It was really simple.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Are you distraught after the recent presidential election? Here at Don't Cry Cryo, we understand your pain, and we're here to help. Our expert team of cryogenic care providers can cryogenically freeze you until the Trump presidency has ended. No more crying, no more anxiety attacks, just blissful sleep until Trump is gone. When you awaken from your slumber, we'll even have a party ready and waiting for you. It will be like his presidency never even happened. It was all just a bad dream. As an added bonus, you can choose the Vance add-on package. We'll extend your sleep for an additional 4 years at a 50% discount in the event J.D. Vance wins the next presidential election. Everything will be okay. We're here to take care of you in your time of need. So remember, don't cry, cryo.
Where am I? Oh, please tell me it's over. Wait, something isn't right.
This is your captain, Elon Musk. I want to be the first one to welcome you to Mars. Sorry, Donald Trump Jr. was just elected president, and he deported all Don't Cry Cryo customers to Mars.
What the?
And the Trump effect has already kicked in. Target has again started saying Merry Christmas instead of Happy Holidays. Just wait until 47 actually takes office.
Trump's not even president yet. Have you seen what's happened in the last 48 hours? The misogynist appoints the first ever woman to be chief of staff. The Taliban announced they want peace with America and to be taken off the terrorist list. Putin came out and said that Western civilization is not an enemy. Mexico has started securing the border in, of course, response to tariff threats. Saudi Arabia is kicking out all of their Hamas leaders. New York is cleaning up their illegal migrant crisis. Xi Jinping came out and said he wants to peacefully coexist with China and said that they respect American people. The European Union chief finally came out and said, hey, America, can we start buying LNG from you so they stop buying from Russian gas? Putin says he takes Donald Trump's plan to end the war with Ukraine very seriously, and Russia supports it. The Houthis are stepping back. The Hamas called for an immediate end to war. He's calling for term limits in from Congress so that way people like Nancy Pelosi stop being forever members.
Trump's a really bad racist.
Did they not forget in 1991 what you did with Nelson Mandela?
You know?
Would you care to share that?
I never talk about it.
No, you do not.
I don't think it's a narrative the press likes.
Nelson Mandela and 80 of his constituents were trying to come to the United States. The United States government wasn't helping him. No one was helping him. You chartered a 727 plane for their entire trip. And it's crazy because you can talk about anything. Why is it hard for you to talk about the things you've done?
It's something that I love doing it. I don't need praise for it. I don't. We all like a certain level of praise, but I just like helping people.
You donated $100,000 to raise dogs. You're not even a dog guy. Yeah. Explain that.
Well, that's Lara. So I have the wife of Eric. She loves the dogs, and I did that in her honor, actually. And if you listen to her, boy, dogs are treated very badly. Some evil people. So I did that for my daughter-in-law, more so than me. I don't know that much about dogs, but I want to take care of them. And I had an opportunity. You know, as president, you can do a lot of things. And she's a good person, so I did it for her.
What's this? An estimated 30% of black males voted for Trump? What kind of black man would vote for Donald Trump? Check out this take by Judge Joe Brown.
The percentage of black people that supported Donald Trump this time did increase over the last time. But interestingly enough, the statistics of people black who supported Donald Trump almost exactly match the pre-Civil War figures for black people who were free and not slaves. So maybe that says the type of black man that would not submit to slavery is the same type of black man who would vote for Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And the ones that voted against him were the ones that would have stayed on the plantations.
Right.
Now, that's something to consider.
What? Okay, so I want to follow up behind that. That was a great point. Because I was going to say, yeah, because so the black men that voted for Trump are the Nat Turners.
Yes. The Denmark Vesey's.
Yes. Yeah.
The ones that ran off to the north.
Right.
Ones that joined the Union Army.
That's what I was going to say. Exactly.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it. I want winners. I want people that want to win.
Again, Bill Maher thinks only Democrats accept election results and Republicans don't?
One side accepts election losses and one side doesn't.
Really, Bill? Bambucci, roll the tape.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
How can you win with Russian interference, though?
That's what I'm thing.
scared about in 2020.
But rightly.
Because I think he's an illegitimate president that didn't really win. So how do you fight against that in 2020?
You are absolutely right. He's an illegitimate president in my mind.
Could you be my vice presidential candidate? Folks, look, I absolutely agree.
Trump didn't actually win the election in 2016. He lost the election, and he was put in office because the Russians interfered.
Russia interfered with our election, attacked our democracy for the sole purpose of artificially placing someone at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. They were successful.
Trump knows he's an illegitimate president.
The president-elect, although legally elected, is not legitimate.
I don't see this president-elect as a legitimate president.
You said you believe that Russia's interference altered the outcome of the election.
I do. We have a president who, if in fact it is proven, has been assisted by the Russians and may in fact not be a legitimate president.
The one thing that Trump is fearful of when it comes to his being president is that finally we will see how illegitimate his victory actually was.
I have an objection.
I object to the 15 votes from the state of North Carolina. I object because people are horrified. He's an illegitimate president.
Our election was hijacked. There was no question. Congress has a duty to hashtag protect our democracy and hashtag follow the facts.
John Lewis is completely right. There is a cloud of illegitimacy around the election of Donald Trump. The Russians interfered with his election. James Comey and the FBI interfered with his election. The fake news industry interfered with his election.
Trump knows he's an illegitimate president who got illegitimate foreign help.
Do you believe Trump is illegitimate president?
What I believe is that there's no question that the outcome of this election was affected by the Russian interference.
There absolutely is a cloud of illegitimacy.
So that legitimacy is in question, yes. So that was a very tainted election. And in that sense, it's illegitimate.
Why do you think the president is going to such great lengths to essentially prove that he beat you?
Because he knows he didn't. He knows he's an illegitimate president.
Stolen emails, stolen drone, stolen election. Welcome to the world of unprecedented Trump.
So do you believe President Trump is an illegitimate president?
Based on what I just said, which I can't retract.
He tweeted in February 2018, quote, "The more we learn about the 2016 election, the more illegitimate it becomes. America deserves to know whether we have a fake president in the Oval Office."
The Russian attempt to have the election, and frankly, the FBI is weighing in on the election, I think makes his election illegitimate.
There was a widespread understanding that this election was not on the level. We still don't know what really happened, Isaac. I mean, there's just a lot that I think will be revealed, history will discover, but you don't win by 3 million votes and have all this other shenanigan stuff going on and not come away with an idea like, whoa, something's not right here.
It seems to me that there's a cloud of illegitimacy that continues to hang over 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
The outcome of the election was affected by their interference, and now we need to know, to what degree, if any, the Trump campaign was actually in collusion with Russia. He knows he's an illegitimate president.
One extremely annoying shift later. One eternity later.
Bad news is that we didn't get the victory we secured. And the thing is, we will never know empirically that I got more votes because we will never know which votes didn't get counted.
This was not fair. It was not right. And it is deeply improper that someone could ascend to that role having performed so basely and so crassly against the very people he is now supposed to represent.
The election was not fair. The process was not fair.
So you don't feel that you lost fair and square? I do recognize I am not the governor of Georgia. But I do like to point out something that is true for me and for many in our state, and that is we won.
I'm not saying it's going to be legit. It's the increase in the prospect of being illegitimate is a direct proportion of us not being able to get these reforms passed.
Right-wing extremists already have a plan to literally steal the next presidential election.
It's not as if it's just Republicans who have monkeyed around with elections in the past. Sometimes Democrats have too. You know, whenever people are in power, they have this tendency to try to, tilt things in their direction.
Do you ever wake up and realize your life has no purpose?
Do I have a death wish? Morgan asked. Maybe I did. I thought this would be our final run ever. We had made millions and millions of dollars, but God had other plans.
Peter Lowe, the one-time drug dealer turned pastor, along with 2 others, will be executed at 12 midnight local time.
You can be in heaven, or you can be in hell. The choice is yours. I found Christ in here, and he forgave me.
My name is Peter Lowe, and I will be executed in 2 hours.
Jesus is for free, and salvation is a gift. Do you believe in Jesus?
Blue Line Moving is a veteran-owned full-service moving company dedicated to serving families across South Florida, as well as nationwide over the past 10 years. Whether it's moving furniture, organizing items, or packing your belongings, we go the extra mile to make sure it's all done right. We provide clients with an affordable and stress-free moving experience every step of the way. BlueLineMovingAndStorage.com. That's BlueLineMovingAndStorage.com. A watershed moment. On October 26, 2024, in an unprecedented move, John Rourke of Blue Line Moving, along with Nelson McElveen of Century H2O, will work with East Palestine, Ohio Mayor Trent Conaway to donate water filtration systems to every single household. Quote, I would like to ensure that every household that would like a water filtration system gets one to protect their family from potential toxic threats so as to have peace of mind when drinking and cooking, that they are consuming safe water, close quote, says Mr. McElveen. Environmental government agencies claim the environment tests are fine, but locals disagree. 2 private companies are stepping in to support the residents of East Palestine. At Century H2O, we believe that everyone deserves access to clean, healthy water. That's why we're dedicated to providing innovative water treatment solutions that remove harmful toxins, balance pH, and enrich water with essential minerals, supporting your overall health and well-being. They are donating 10% of every purchase to provide under-sink water treatment systems to families impacted by the 2023 train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. CenturyH2O.com. That's with an S, S-E-N-T-R-Y, H2O.com. On illegal immigration, Hillary was Trump before Trump.
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes. And you have to try to learn English. And you have to wait in line.
And this illegal alien is pro-Trump. He admits he came into the country illegally and that there are and should be consequences.
The way I see it is I feel like Donald Trump is going to win.
What do you think of Donald Trump?
I think he'll be a good president. There's so many things that Democrats bring to the table, but also like we need jobs. You know, we need the country to do better.
Do you believe he is offensive to Mexicans, being a Mexican yourself?
I feel like sometimes he has even rude to us. But at the end of the day, we came to this country, when we came in, we committed a crime, right? By violating, you know, the way we enter. It's something true. Like they said, the truth sometimes hurts, you know, simple as that. If it wasn't true, maybe you could complain, but if it is true, I mean, you have nothing to say, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, make way for Tom Homan, incoming border czar.
What it won't look like is what I read a lot from the left, that it's not going to be a massive sweep of neighborhoods. It's not going to be massive raids. It's going to be a target enforcement operation. And under the first Trump administration, 91% of everybody we arrested was a convicted criminal or pending criminal charges or a fugitive, which means they had due process. They were ordered removed by an immigration judge and didn't leave and became a fugitive. It'll be the same thing. It's going to be a target enforcement operation. And if I'm involved, if I'm running it, there's going to be public safety threats and national security threats will be the priority. Now, people say that means everybody's off the table. No, if you're in the country illegally, you got a problem. But we got to prioritize limited resources. So we're going to look at the criminals and national security threats. Now, there's going to be a lot of them. We're going to do more than we've ever done. It will be a big operation. And I tell people all the time, they say, well, isn't that, isn't it mean or racist to say it's going to be the biggest deportation operation in history of the nation, which the president keeps saying? No, it's not ridiculous because we just finished, not even finished yet, a massive, historic, never seen before, illegal immigration on our southern border with well over 10 million people come to our borders illegally. And if you go back to immigration court data over the last decade, it clearly shows 85%, close to 90% of those who claim asylum at our border will never get relief from U.S. courts because either they don't show up in court and you get ordered removed because they simply don't qualify for asylum. So when you got millions of people being released in this country, and 9 out of 10 of them, after due process, be ordered removed, what's our option? Let them stay? Because you let them stay, if there's no consequences, you're never going to sell the southern border. There has to be consequences. Look, if the court, and when judge issues that court order, it has to be executed. I mean, we have to remove them. If we don't, if the judge's order doesn't mean anything at the end of this due process, a great taxpayer expect, if the judge's order doesn't mean anything and it's not executed, then what the hell are we doing? Get rid of the immigration court. Obviously, the orders don't mean anything anymore. Take the border patrol off the border because there's no consequence for entering this country legally. You can't demand due process. You have the right to see a judge. I have a right to claim asylum. I have a right to, I agree. You can claim asylum. Certainly you have that right. But you can't demand due process and ignore the final decision. That means due process means nothing. So yeah, 90% of them will be ordered removed. They got to be removed because that's the way the legal system's set up. And there's no other option other than just closing our eyes and letting this continue. So, There will be a massive deportation operation because we had a massive, never seen before illegal immigration with 90% will be ordered removed. It's common sense. So it's not about hate. It's not about discrimination. It's not about being racist. It's about those people enter the country illegally, which is a crime, and get ordered removed by a federal judge, have to go home. So I've been asked this many times, how many people can remove? It depends on the resources. It depends on the money. But I can guarantee you that President Trump means what he says. There will be a green light to enforce our laws and secure that border, and this will require a mass deportation operation. And we'll make of course, the Secretary of Homeland Security, whoever that's going to be, has the power to reprogram money from other areas, can get more money. Congress certainly can give more money. And I tell you, I can guarantee you this, the cost of this operation will be a hell of a lot less than we're spending now taking care of millions of people who aren't supposed to be here. These sanctuary cities, they're in the first Trump administration. It's not going to stop. It's certainly not helpful. We would like the force multiplier to have, actually have access to county jails where the worst of the worst are being locked up. It'd be great to have access to Rikers Island in New York and Cook County Jail in Chicago, which we're not allowed to go into. But I think President Trump's going to, once again, file a lawsuit with DOJ and take their federal funding away. I think a lot of the sanctuary cities are actually working with us behind the scenes. You're not going to say it, but with all the alien crime and the young women being, sexually assaulted and murdered, some sheriffs have been coming forward working behind the scenes. But look, if they're not willing to help, then get the hell out of the way, because ICE is going to do the job. But here's what they need to understand. You're not going to get access to the jail to talk to the guy that you locked up. You chose to lock him up for some reason. He has to be a public safety threat or a flight risk. That's who we want access to. But when you knowingly release a criminal alien back in the community, look at the recidivism rates. If you really care about the immigrant community, because the immigrant community don't want a pedophile in their neighborhood either. They don't want someone convicted of DUI 10 times in their either. And if you're a victim, and they all say the sanctuary cities it's responsible because we want victims and witnesses of crime to be welcome to come forward, but not out of fear of working with ICE. So we want to keep victims and witnesses feel comfortable. So we're not working with ICE. That is ridiculous. The victims and witnesses of alien crime don't want the bad guy back. The victims certainly don't want the guy released. Either does the witness. So it's just it's a left talking point. It just makes sense. If you don't want to work with us and get the hell out of the way, we're going to do it. What it means is we're just send more, rather than send 100 people to Boston, we'll send 200 agents to Boston. We're going to get the job done. We have a mandate. I think the American people just gave President Trump a mandate. That's why he was elected, to secure the border, save lives, and deport people, especially national security threats and public safety threats. So if you don't want to help us, step aside. But don't get in our way. There will be consequences.
Now, this is the actress Disney hired for the remake of Snow White. Her name is Rachel Zegler. How woke is she?
No longer 1937. She's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. I watched it for the first time in probably 17 years. The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power.
Now, after Trump won, she posted the following to her 2.3 million followers on social media. I find myself speechless in the midst of this. May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace. Another 4 years of hatred, leaning us towards a world I do not want to live in, leaning us towards a world that will be hard to raise my daughter in. There is a deep sickness in this country, shown in the sheer amount of people who showed up for this man who threatens our democracy. It is terrifying, the number of people who stand behind what this man preaches. Trump's support is based on a foolish subscription to a false sense of security, masculinity, intelligence, patriotism, and humanity. Get off Elon's app. Don't use that app for a reason. He helped get that man elected, and you're giving him business. Then the fit hit the shan. The only reason she was not dropped from the movie is that it was too late. She semi-apologized.
Sorry is all that you can say.
Hatred and anger have caused us to move further and further away from peace and understanding.
I have sinned against you, my Lord.
And she continued, I am sorry I contributed to the negative discourse.
And I would ask that your precious blood would wash and cleanse every stain until it is in the seas of God's forgetfulness.
Finally, he did not say that.
A lot of little people don't like me because I say the word midget. I got protested at one of my shows. 22 little people showed up with the picket signs. They weren't picket signs, they were 3x5 cards. But they were there. And here's the craziest thing. They walked up to me and they said, Brad, when you call a dwarf a midget, it's the exact same as calling a black person the N-word. And I was like, midget, please.
This is why we need school choice in urban America.
Give me a boy's name that starts with the letter H.
Jose.
Say that one more time.
Jose.
Sometimes it's hard to get comfy.
I couldn't sleep at all last night, just thinking of you. Oh, baby, thing wasn't right. Well, I was tossing and turning all night. I kicked the blankets on the floor, turned my pillow upside down. I never did before, 'cause I was tossing and turning all night. Jumped out of bed, turned on the light, I pulled down the shade, went to the kitchen for a bite, rolled up the shade, turned off the light, I jumped back into bed, it was the middle of the night. The clock downstairs was striking 4. Couldn't get you off my mind. I heard the milkman at the door. 'Cause I was tossing and turning all night.
Hope you enjoyed We've Got a Country to Save, brought to you by my friends at investyrefy.com. Invest in America like I do. And by Freedom Chat. Freedom Chat is true end-to-end encryption, no storage of messages on the server, no commercial use of user data. That way, you can speak freely and message privately. Download the app today and subscribe to my Freedom Chat channel at Larry Elder for exclusive posts and never-before-seen content. We also thank Epoch Times, Old Glory Bank, Patriot Mobile, Birch Gold, Century H2O, and Blue Line Moving. Make sure to follow or subscribe to my channel on whatever platform you are using, whether X, YouTube, Facebook, or Rumble. And be sure to patronize our sponsors. And remember, we've got a country to save.
The Amazon rainforest was built up over 50 million years. 50 million years. History is literally watching us now. So let's preserve this secret place for our time and forever, for the benefit of all humanity. Thank you very, very much.
We know the name we are, the people that you find. Whatever you may need,
We got the money, honey. We got Ulysses in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. What you bring it to your knees?